In order for you to be successful, you need to have a solid workout routine in the morning. Too many people wake up like an accident where they cater to others and don't cater to themselves. If you want to be great, you've got to get started today. My name's Nick Tabor. I'm a personal trainer. As always, I tell you the stories because I've lived through them. A solid morning workout routine is best because what happens when you do great things? You get better. And when you do tough things, you get even better than that. When you work out in the morning, and it doesn't have to be big, what you do is it wakes up your brain. When you sweat, there goes all the stress. The stress melts off very easily. And when you're tired and groggy, this has the same effect as a cup of coffee in the morning, where you get better. You start to wake up and you start to be better, stronger, faster, quicker. I know I personally work out every morning and I do something, well, it's kind of small to me, but my workouts at the gym are kind of heavy at times, so I have specific goals. But I started out small. When I was huge, like I was 305 pounds, what I had to do in the morning was I would get up and I wouldn't sit down. I'd walk and I'd try to get outside as quickly as I can. And I started to say, I'm going to walk to work in the mornings. When I had an early shift, I'd leave the car and I'd walk. And even if I got as far as the end of the driveway or as far as the end of the street and had to turn back, that was a success. And then I kept going a little further and a little further. I gave myself plenty of leeway, and I used to pack a change of clothes in my bag to be able to say, like, okay, I'm really going to sweat very heavily, and that was not good. I had to be good. I had to be rock solid, right? So what you need to do, what I needed to do was I just started. I just started doing something. Again, too many people wake up like an accident. 90% of Americans, at least what I've seen, what do? They start on their phones. They're on Facebook, scrolling, eating breakfast and scrolling, or on YouTube watching some silly, stupid video that probably doesn't matter, or you're on Instagram scrolling, or you're checking emails, starting to respond to other people's business. But the very first thing you need to do in the morning is you need to take care of you. And if you don't start with you, who's going to take care of you after? No one. It's you. You've got to get yourself up in the morning. It's better than coffee. When I told you when I started walking, and then there's easy stuff you can do in the morning, right? Like every morning, what I do lately is there's in this office, you can tell there's some junk in the back here, but what I do is I get up and I do 200 push-ups, and I have it right. You see this desk right here. I get up and blast them. Just one, two, just keep going. And then I move from there. Once I'm good, I'm solid. But, I need to remember where I am, like what I'm going to do. And then you wake up and you're like, whoa, yeah, I can conquer the day. And when you do the hard stuff very early on, that small stuff is going to be great. You can do whatever it is, put you in a great mood. Now, I also had, I had sleeping problems when you're unhealthy. So if you wake up and you're really tired, really groggy, the first thing in my mind is, I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do this today, or maybe some stressor came in from, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Then you try it and you're like, oh, shoot. What do I do? But the first time you work out in the morning, again, boom, it's like a machine gun to your brain, just blasting everything out of there. You need to do this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you a few tips so you can start your great morning routine. Number one, if you work out, start with something small. but strategically plan it. So you might do something where it's like, let's say you get out and you walk around the block. What if it's cold outside? You know, what are you going to do? You have to plan the small things out here. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to walk around the block, but there's a bunch of snow. David Goggins does this awesome, his great book is like, you've got to get your ass out there and you've got to move, blah, blah, blah. You've got to get rolling. I would really suggest looking it up. Look like David Goggins' book. It's really good. But you get out there and you plan it. I check the weather every morning if I'm gonna walk to work and plan that out for the week. Like, okay, it's gonna rain heavily tomorrow. So what I need to do is I need to make sure if I'm gonna get outside and work out, I have the right clothes out there. You know, I have a coat, raincoat, and an umbrella, you know, right at the door. My shoes are right outside the door, so as soon as I step out, there are my running shoes looking at me. It doesn't give me any excuse to say, oh, I'll just sleep in. Get rid of your snooze alarm. Take your snooze alarm off because it is detrimental to you to be able to do this when you're, if you're like, okay, I'm gonna be good, I'm gonna work out, I'm gonna do, and the first thing you do, you give yourself 5 more minutes. You set the rest of the day down the drain. Sucks to be there. Plan it. You know, you say, you know what, I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna be good, I'm gonna get up, I gotta get to work like at 8 o'clock in the morning. Then what I'm gonna do is I've got to get up, I've got to set my clock up at 6 a.m. and I've got to get going. But if I get up at 6, I got to give myself 8 hours. I've got to be asleep by 10, so I'm in the bedroom by 9:30 at the latest. So that way I mentally put myself in there and I'm ready to go. Set my clothes up and get going. Number 2, tell other people about your plans. You know, obviously I'm married, you know, I tell my wife, I'm going to go running every day. I'm going to do 200 push-ups every morning. And her response is, okay, cool. But if I don't do it, she's going to be the first one to say, where's your push-ups? What'd you do? How come you didn't do them? You okay? Are you sick? What's the matter? You know, what's going on? And that's the first person I'm going to have to answer to. I recommend your significant other as soon as you can because that's the best way to go. Do what you have to do. And number 3, love the hard stuff. Okay? Your morning routine is going to change when you start with something small. Maybe it's just get your clothes, go walk around the block. That's great. As I said, what if it rains? If it's raining, it's too easy to go, nah, that's all right. But we talked about strategically planning. So yeah, it's going to be a difficult walk around the block. But you've done that hard. Like 2 weeks before, you probably would have been the one to say, nah, I'm good. I'll do this another day. And you know what? You'll notice your whole day is shitty as hell. You need to change that right away. And you have to answer to you. So you gotta love the hard stuff. All right. There's our morning routine, right? I hope you like this. I hope it's good. I want you to look down and look at other videos that I've done. Go ahead, click on those, and I'll see you there. My name's Nick Tabor. Keep climbing.